Howdy, and welcome to a No Man's Sky trailer comparison video. Now, I've always wanted to do one of these, but the trick is finding a planet that looks like one of the planets in the trailers. And by that, I don't mean like finding a planet that looks as good as the ones on the trailers, but I mean like has the same particular qualities. And luckily, this last week, I found a planet that looks like Achaia from the 2014 No Man's Sky Galaxy gameplay trailer. So I named this new planet Achaia 2, and as you'll see, it has a similar terrain. It has it's a snowy biome, but it doesn't have any trees, right? So this wasn't possible before last year's Origins update. So finding a planet like Achaia that was just like rocky and covered in snow was impossible until last year. But now that it's possible, I've been lucky enough to find one. So I'd like to share with you a quick comparison between the trailer and gameplay I captured myself, as well as a little bit more of a deep dive looking at some of the differences, some of the improvements that have been made in the last 7 years, I guess. So I hope you enjoy it. Now, in order to get the timing of my footage and the trailer to line up, I did have to make a few cuts and compromises. So you might see a few cuts that aren't in the regular trailer, and that's just because, for example, in the original trailer, the planet is right next to the space station, whereas this one's a little further out, so I have to pulse. So I decided to cut out, the 30 seconds of pulsing, and you'll see other concessions made. But after the side-by-side comparison ends, you'll get a back and forth showing different clips and different pieces of footage that I recorded while trying to find this particular footage. So stay tuned for that. And at the end of the video, I'll also provide glyphs so that you can visit this planet yourself. And I think it makes a huge difference seeing it yourself. I recorded this on a PS5, and my TV has like HDR, and it looks great. And I've noticed it doesn't look quite as vibrant on my computer as I'm editing this. So if you'd like to see for yourself and really experience, Achaia 2, I would recommend visiting using the glyphs at the end of the video. So without further ado, let's go. Alright, so now we're looking at some of this footage a little more closely. We're looking at the 2014 trailer full screen, and you can see a space station design, but this design has remained relatively unchanged throughout the development of No Man's Sky as we've seen through the trailers. The version you're seeing on screen now has been iterated upon for years through different updates. It's added, walking NPCs, it's added shops and vendors, and the latest Prisms update added screen space reflections and a new space station core that I can't wait to see what it does. So this specific freighter variation isn't currently found in the game. However, there are, as you can see, some very similar designs that did make it into the final game. Here on the approach, you can really see how small the old planets used to be. Whereas compared to nowadays, the planets are so much larger, the atmospheric approach takes a lot longer. And while this does, add a bit of travel time, it's a little bit more immersive, more believable, and provides more space for players to explore. So here we're passing a crashed freighter, which weren't added to the game actually until 2017's Atlas Rises. And then here we can see a procedurally generated crashed freighter, which were upgraded during the Visions update in 2018, which is one of my favorite updates. Now, here they're passing some rings which can be found in the game. However, there weren't any on this planet. But if you pay attention to the terrain, it looks like mountains, but in reality, they're just small hills. Whereas here, these are also small hills, but these are much larger small hills. And in the distance, you see actual mountain-sized mountains. Additionally, here we have some third-person flight gameplay, which is something they also added in 2018 with the next update. It gives you a bit more perspective, you can see more of the environment, and gives you another way to play. Alright, so as we approach this trading post, we can see a more stripped back design, very streamlined, no NPCs, not a lot going on here actually, it's just the architecture. Here it's a very similar layout, however there's a lot more detail. There's, as you can see, packages that you can interact with on various platforms. Watching these ships land, you can see they have transparent windshields, and there are no pilots inside, which was a little immersion breaking. Nowadays they have the windows blacked out, but now that they've added more NPCs to the game, some people would love to see those transparent windows return so we could see the pilots inside. Now, this clip also lets you take a look inside the trade center, which has now NPCs, including a traveler in the back there. Additionally, NPCs now exit their ships and walk around the platforms for you to interact with. Here we can see some of the detail that was added to ships in the Beyond update, along with their larger scale. Alright, so as we take off, we can sort of see the old cloud tech here as you leave the atmosphere. And now we have much more advanced volumetric clouds that actually cast shadows and change as the weather changes. Again, we have some interesting craters, as we do here. So, the galaxy map has changed quite a bit since this demo. So here we have a big, beautiful font. It's got some basic information. And I didn't do a great job of showing it here, but you actually have more information available. which I think you get a better idea of here, where you can actually view the different attributes of that system before visiting. Well, I hope you enjoyed that comparison video. Again, if you'd like to visit Achaia 2, those glyphs are now on screen. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. What do you think they've improved? What's your favorite part? Or what do you think looked better in the original trailer? You know, maybe there are some things that they could still improve on even in 2021. Let me know below. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. And subscribe if you're interested in more No Man's Sky content, especially with Frontiers just around the corner. I'm really excited to dive in and make more content, and leaving a like and subscribing really helps and lets me know that y'all are interested in more. So thanks for watching and have a good one.